When your dog stares at you for no reason, do you actually know what they're trying to say? It might seem random, sweet, or just one of those weird dog things. But behind that stare, there's something most owners completely miss. It's one of the most powerful messages your dog can send. And if you misread it, you might be hurting them without even knowing. Let's start with why they choose you to stare at in the first place. Why does your dog stare at you the moment something feels off? You haven't said anything, you haven't moved differently, but somehow they know. That's not a coincidence. They're reading you. Dogs are the only species on Earth that has spent 15,000 years evolving alongside humans. And in that time, their brains literally rewired themselves to study one thing: us. When your dog stares at your face, they're scanning for micro-expressions, tiny shifts in your eyebrows, the tension in your jaw, the way your mouth moves at the corners, things you don't even notice yourself. A study from Emory University put dogs inside MRI machines and showed them photos of their owners' faces. The result? The same parts of a dog's brain light up that light up in a human brain when they see someone they love. So when your dog locks eyes with you and just sits there, they're not zoning out. They're checking in. They're reading your emotional state in real time. And the wild part is, they often know how you feel before you do. But there's another reason your dog stares that goes way deeper, and I'll save it for the very end. It might change the way you look at your dog forever. Have you ever caught your dog staring at a piece of food on the table, then quickly glancing at you, then back at the food? That's not just hunger. That's a question. Your dog is asking for permission. Dogs developed something scientists call referential looking, the ability to use eye contact to communicate intent. It's one of the most sophisticated social behaviors in the animal kingdom, and dogs are the only domesticated species that does it this way. A study by the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna found that when dogs want something they can't reach, they alternate their gaze between the object and their owner an average of 7 to 9 times per minute. That's not random. That's a conversation. So when your dog stares at the door, then at you, then at the door again, they're not being weird. They're saying, "Can we go?" When they stare at the cookie jar and then at your face, they're asking, "Is it okay?" And here's what most owners get wrong. If you ignore this look, your dog doesn't think you didn't notice. They think you said no. Over time, dogs that get ignored too often stop acting altogether. And if your dog already feels a little more understood tonight, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us reach more owners who don't know their dog has been talking to them all along. Here's something most owners never realize. When your dog stares at you intensely after you've been gone, even for just an hour, they're not staring because they missed you. They're staring because something about you has changed. A dog's sense of smell is between 10,000 and 100,000 times stronger than ours. And humans? We're constantly leaking information through scent. Your stress hormones, your sweat, your diet, even what mood you're in, all of it shows up in your scent profile. When you walk back through the door, your dog's nose hits you with a wall of data within seconds. New places you've been, people you touched, foods you ate, and critically, how you felt while you were doing it. Researchers at Queen's University Belfast proved that dogs can actually smell human stress. When you come home anxious, your dog doesn't need to see your face to know. They smell the cortisol seeping through your skin before you've even taken your shoes off. So when your dog stares at you after you walk in the door, they're not confused. They're processing. They're cross-referencing the new you against the version of you that left this morning. They're checking, are you okay? And the answer to that question determines how they'll behave for the next several hours. Ever notice how your dog stares at you while you're just sitting on the couch doing nothing? You're not getting up, you're not eating, you're just existing. And they're watching you like a movie. That's because they are. Dogs are pattern recognition machines. Their entire existence is built around figuring out what you're going to do next, because almost everything good in their life depends on it. You walking to the kitchen could mean dinner. You picking up your keys could mean a walk. You sitting down with the laptop could mean the next 3 hours are boring. A study at Duke University tested how quickly dogs can learn human routines. The result was staggering. Most dogs build a detailed mental model of their owner's habits within the first 30 days of living together. After that, they're not waiting to see what you do. They're predicting it. When your dog stares at you doing nothing, they're not bored. They're running calculations. They're tracking every micro signal. The way you shift in your seat, the way your hand moves toward your phone, the direction you're looking. Each of these gives them probability data about what's coming next. This is why dogs seem to know when you're about to leave the house, or when it's almost dinner time, or when a walk is coming, even when you haven't moved yet. They're not psychic. They've just been studying you longer and harder than anyone else in your life. Now here's the one that's going to feel a little uncomfortable. Sometimes your dog isn't staring because they love you. Sometimes they're staring because they've learned how to manipulate you. And honestly, they're really good at it. Researchers at the University of Portsmouth ran an experiment that proved dogs raise their inner eyebrows, that classic puppy dog face, significantly more when humans are looking at them than when they're alone. This means dogs don't just make sad eyes. They make sad eyes on purpose when they know you're watching. That long, soulful stare your dog gives you while you're eating dinner, it's not random emotion. It's a calculated performance, one they fine-tuned over years based on which expressions get them food, attention, or what they want. And here's the wildest part. We helped them develop this. Over thousands of years of domestication, humans subconsciously bred dogs that could give us that look. Wolves cannot. Wolves do not have the facial muscles to make that expression. Dogs evolved it specifically to manipulate humans. So when your dog stares at you with those big sad eyes, they're not lying, but they are performing. They've learned exactly which look gets results, and they're using it on you. The good news? It works because there's real love behind it. The bad news? You're going to give them the treat anyway. Remember at the beginning when I said there was a deeper reason your dog stares at you? Something that might change the way you see them forever? This is that moment. When your dog looks at you and just holds that gaze, slow, quiet, no expectations, something happens in their brain that scientists only discovered a few years ago. A study in the journal Science, led by researchers in Japan, found that when dogs and their owners stare into each other's eyes, both their brains release oxytocin, the same hormone that floods a mother's brain when she looks at her newborn baby. Let that sink in. Your dog isn't just being affectionate when they stare at you. Their brain is bonding with yours on the same chemical level as a parent-child relationship. The same exact biological pathway. The same exact love. But here's the part that nobody talks about. This response is one-sided in time. You will have many people in your life. Your dog will have one. You are not just their owner. You are their entire world, their parent, their pack, their reason for waking up every morning. And the way they look at you, that quiet, patient, unblinking gaze, is them telling you that in the only language they have. So next time your dog If this video reminded you how much your dog means to you, share it with someone who needs to be reminded too. And tell me in the comments, what's the one thing your dog does that you only just now understand? I read every single one.